Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session with Adiola, the analyst. In this session, we'll be working with the PostgreSQL database, and our task is to load a particular CSV file into the database without using the restore routes. And our method for this exercise is first to create a table and give it a name. Second is to locate the newly created table. Right-click on it and select the import export data wizard. Third is to enter the file path or click on the file name icon to locate the CSV file. And finally, we click on OK. And so let's dive into the pgadmin user interface. So this is our pgadmin, and straight I go to my Postgre SQL 15. Okay, I enter my password. Okay, so in this exercise, I'll be looking at creating a new database. You can as well create your table in an existing database, but for this exercise, I'll be creating a new database. So I'll go to the icon database, create, and click on create database. And so I can give it any name of my choice. So I can say Brewell, and I click on save. So once that is done, okay, and so I go straight to my Brewell database, Brewell1 database. And if you go to the schemas, you will find that there is nothing under the table option. Okay. And so the first thing I need to do is to create a table. All right. So I can call up my query tools to load the interface for me to create my table. All right. So create table. In that exercise, I can say sales, open bracket. All right. So for me to know the column names for my table, I need to go straight to the CSV file to study the structure of the CSV file. All right. So I have sales ID, sales rep, email, brand, plant costs, and all the other headers. So I can just copy the column names and take it back to my pgadmin, and I can just paste anywhere and use it as a guide to create my table. So the first thing I'm creating is the sales ID. Okay, sales underscore ID. I can give it a voucher. I haven't studied the structure of my CSV file. I can just go ahead and create my table without going back and forth. Okay, so that's a voucher. The second item is the sales rep. Okay, that's also a voucher. Okay. The email, that's also a voucher. The numbers attached to that is imputed in the bracket is a function of the length of the characters. And so when you once you study that, you'll be able to know what number to use. My brands is also a voucher. I have the plant costs. Okay, so this is a cost, so I can use the data type decimal. So you can check your notes to have a better understanding of the data type I'm using. The other column name is the unit price. I'm also using the decimal data type. Quantity. Quantity, that's a whole number, so I can use the integer data type. Costs. Okay, so I use the decimal. Profits also. I use the decimal. countries as a varchar, I can use 50, depending on the length of the country region. I'm also using a varchar. Month. I'm also going to be using a varchar. And finally, the years. I'll be using integer in this case. And so this is my syntax to create a table. All right, so I can just highlight and run, or just click on run. So query returned successfully in 89 milliseconds. So I'll just go back to my Build1 database and go to my schemas, and I should be able to find the table there. And so if it's not there, you can right click. You can just right click and refresh. And so that the table can come up. Okay. All right. So on this, under the table now, you can find sales, but the sales now is empty. And so what's the next step? Okay. So from our slide presentation, okay, so I haven't created a table. We should locate the newly created table and right click on it and select import and export. So let's go back to our pgadmin. So you will right click on sales. You locate import export. Okay, so you enter the file path, or you locate it by clicking on the file name icon. And so you try to locate where you saved the file. My desktop, my documents, my downloads. And so for me, I saved it here under practice. I click on it and I click on open. Then I click OK. So process started and process completed. All right. So the next thing is for me to cross-check. Okay, to cross-check if the if the table is there. And so how do I go about that? I can just use my select statement. Select all from sales. I run that, and all right, so I've been able to load my CSV file in my PostgreSQL database. All right, so if you want to, practice more on using this CSV file, you can locate the CSV file on my GitHub project/internationalbureaus1.csv, and you can play around with the data set. All right, thank you for listening, and do have a great weekend. Bye.